Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So this isn't the video I originally planned to make for you guys. 3 months ago, I posted an update saying that I was going to change my trace element dosing to keep costs under control. I completely intended to come back to you guys and let you know how that transition was going, but the tank had other plans for me. Right after that video, a few of my corals started looking a little off. Colors were dull, and a couple acros even receded, and growth kind of felt like it came to a standstill. I sent a water sample to the Fauna ICP lab hoping to get some answers. A week later, those results came in, and that's when I learned that my salinity was at 39 PSU, which works out to 1.029 specific gravity. That was strange to me because my probe and refractometer weren't showing that. But to be fair, the probe was overdue for calibration anyway. So I did what seemed sensible. I did a 30% water change and kept my auto water changes going. I thought that would be enough to solve the problem. But a month later, things were still looking questionable. Colors were still lacking and the growth was still at a standstill. I wanted to send another ICP, but I did have back-to-back trips and didn't want results that I just couldn't act on. When I finally got home, that's when I noticed that 90% of my 4-year-old Leng Sy had died. That was the last straw for me. I cleaned the tank, scraped the algae, and started hunting for the root cause. That's when it hit me. I should probably check the calibration solution. That little bottle has been with me since the start of this tank, so about 5 years. And yeah, there were times when I forgot to cap it and it sat overnight. Over a period of who knows how long, evaporation concentrated in the bottle and inevitably that liquid became more and more salty. Every time I calibrated my refractometer, I would calibrate it to 35 ppt, not knowing I was actually aligning it to something higher. So that was mistake number 1 and 2. I ordered a fresh bottle immediately, and when it arrived, I recalibrated the refractometer and the probe. That's when I saw how badly I had messed up. The actual salinity of my tank wasn't 35 ppt like I had originally thought. It was actually 47 ppt, so that works out to 1.036 specific gravity. On one hand, I felt relieved because I finally had an answer, but on the other hand, I was annoyed with myself because this was completely preventable. If I had replaced that calibration bottle on a schedule, I could have avoided a lot of stress and probably even saved that Monty as well as a few other corals. From there, I took 2 weeks to bring salinity down gradually to 35 ppt, and during one of those manual water changes, I lightly vacuumed the sand bed. I like to do that every 3 to 4 months so it doesn't get too dirty. Because I had to drop salinity so much, I did have to keep a close eye on my calcium and alkalinity levels and make small but careful corrections just to avoid shocking the corals any further. Fast forward to today, the tank is responding and the coral color and polyp extension seem to be coming back. Chalice tissue looks fuller and more vibrant. My trachophilia is puffier than ever. The red dragon acro has those rich purplish red hues again. The blue stag is actually blue and even putting out new growth tips these past couple weeks. The sunset millie is hairy and encrusting faster now, and my blue millie is getting its blue back. So that's basically what's been going on in these last 3 months. Overall, the tank is back on course and should keep improving as long as I stay mindful of my salinity levels. Like I said, this wasn't the video I planned to make, but I did promise you guys to share the wins and the mistakes, and this one traces back to a tiny bottle that I completely ignored. Going forward, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to replace my calibration fluid every 6 months without hesitation. Maybe that's overkill, but after what the tank just went through, $8 and a phone reminder are worth the peace of mind for me. Just a heads up guys, if you've been putting off replacing your reference solution, or maybe you've got a weird mismatch between a probe and a refractometer, learn from me and check the basics. Tiny tools can have huge consequences. If this helped or saved you a headache, drop a like for me. Tell me in the comments your most expensive, cheap mistake, and we can all learn and keep our tanks running smooth. Next time, now that the salinity is locked in, I'll finally be able to share with you guys how the new trace element plan is working with a stable baseline. If you want to see that update, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Until next time, take care.